Here another point that we can add is that how Krishna, now we know that Krishna cannot see anything material, anything spiritual. For him everything is spiritual because he thinks everything is Leela, even the material world is Leela. Only we are in the painful situation because we have got these material bodies and we are under the Mahamaya, so we get painful situations. For Krishna, he's just fighting with us here. In Golok also he is fighting with us, here also he is fighting with us. But he is just enjoyer, he is the supreme enjoyer. He doesn't matter for him, what way. But he wants us to come to Golok Vrindavan. He wants us to come back to him. So, but he enjoys fighting with us anyways. He can enjoy anything. He's a supreme enjoyer. So from Krishna's point of perspective, what he does is Sakama Bhakta, sometimes he trains them like this. What he does is, he uses the events in the lives of Sakama Bhaktas to train them in direct spiritual counterparts. Like for example, a Sakama Bhakta is very attached to Kirtan, not because the Kirtan has got Krishna, but because there are a lot of people involved in the Kirtan, the atmosphere is very good, there are a lot of people who are appreciating them, he gets the feeling that he is like the center of attraction, a lot of things, a Sakama Bhakta may have in the Kirtan. But Krishna uses that attraction and attachment of the Sakama Bhakta towards Kirtan and towards Krishna. So of course Krishna is also involved in that because the deities also there in the Kirtan. So the Sakama Bhakta also gets attached to deities also, 10% he gets attached, and he gets attached to the Kirtan temple hall, he gets attached to a lot of things. So now Krishna uses that part to train him in the higher realms of devotional service. Now he uses material nature to train him in spiritual life. Very, very complicated situation actually. Sometimes this may be possible also. So how does he use this? Krishna. Like for example, imagine sometimes a devotee is a singer. He wants to go to the Pushyabhishek or some big festival of Krishna, and his boss is stopping him every time. So he gets very disturbed. Why this boss is stopping me? He gets very disturbed, very disturbed. Then finally leaves the job. Then he sees that some brahmachari is stopping him from entering the temple. Then he gets angry with the brahmachari. Then brahmachari also goes away. Then another brahmachari comes and stops him. Some other devotee stops him. Then this guy is every time he's stopped. Then he starts realizing that Krishna is actually training me to become tolerant and humble. Because in the spiritual world also, the very essence of Vipralamba, basically in Sambhoga, tolerance and humility is not required. Everything is going on very sweetly. So there is no need for tolerance and humility. But in Vipralamba, what happens is that you are very much madly attracted to Krishna, and suddenly somebody stops you from meeting Krishna. So when that devastation happens in your life, that's known as devastation. When somebody stops you, it's like as good as getting completely murdered or anything. That is a devastating effect actually. When you're about to meet Krishna and somebody comes and stops you at that point from meeting Krishna. So at that devastating point, what will be the reaction? If a devotee starts feeling that, oh, this is a person has stopped me from meeting Krishna, so let me curse him. So the gopis, they wanted to meet Krishna when Krishna was actually playing the flute, and then suddenly their parents stopped them. You can't go to meet Krishna. Now these gopis were so much in an ecstasy of wanting to go to meet Krishna. Somebody stops them, they could curse them. Yeah, I curse you that you have stopped me from meeting my Lord. May you fall down from spiritual world. So such kind of things can happen, which actually, but the parents were just following the orders of Krishna only in their heart, because Krishna wanted to stop them so that they can experience Vipralamba bhav. So because of the very essential nature of Vipralamba is devastation itself, so they need to deal with devastation. These devotees, certain devotees. So Krishna sometimes depending on who those devotees are, what is their relation in spiritual world, he may train those devotees in devastating effects also. So he may continuously, stop these Sakama Bhaktas from meeting Krishna. And these people, because they are attached to Kirtan, not because of Krishna, partially because of Krishna, partially because of they have developed an intense attachment to the Kirtan and attachment to Krishna as a deity. Because of that, that overall experience, a part of which is karma also, a part of which is false ego, part of which is so many things, other things are there. So when they are stopped by some person from going to there, so they become devastated actually. They become completely devastated. So that devastation is actually, so Krishna continuously keeps on doing that to these devotees. Ultimately, these devotees realize that I have to be tolerant, I have to be humble, and I have to just keep praying to Krishna. So it's not that I say it's okay, I don't want to meet Krishna, it's fine. Let me become a Nishkama Karma Mishra Bhakti and let me do just japa. It's okay, no need for Kirtan. Krishna is everywhere. Why I need to go to temple? So that is wrong actually. These people should actually maintain that an intensity. I want to meet Krishna, but they should be tolerant and not criticize those people who are coming in between them and Krishna. So they should be tolerant and humble, and they should not criticize and fight these circumstances which come. They can fight it, but they need not criticize them, and they should not curse them, and those people who are coming between them and Krishna, because Krishna is training them that in the spiritual world also there are going to be elements who are going to come in between you and me. And that is how, so the experience that these people are stopped, when they are stopped from meeting Krishna, the devastation that they feel, that devastation is not the devastation that one person feels in Golok Vrindavan or Krishna's Nitya Siddha devotees feel, because that is pure devastation. The Bhayanak Ras, the Vipralamba Ras, so many rasas are there involved in that. So a mixture of rasas. So those rasas are pure in nature and they are very, very pleasing to the heart, soothing to the heart. Whereas because of Sakama Karma Mishra Bhakta in the material world, he is involved with a lot of material things, and the Ladini Shakti is not Tapakari Ladani in the nature. So although it looks similar in nature, that he is stopped from meeting Krishna, the kind of pain that he experiences is very, very painful and Tapakari in nature. But the pain serves the purpose. The purpose is that he should learn how to cope up with devastating effects, which will be a very, very strong thing in the spiritual world. So how does he? So sometimes Krishna trains us by giving us devastations in this material world. These devastations may be in the form of some kind of form. So he will train us so that in the spiritual world, when devastations will be there, similar devastations will be there in spiritual world also. But those will be different in nature, of course. But the training should be there, that you should be. So Tranadapisinicha Taroreve Saishnuna is not a material prerequisite so that you can become a devotee. And after devotion, those things are not required. In fact, Tranadapisinicha Taroreve Saishnuna is one of the you can say a bhava which is required to experience one of the sthayi bhavas and basically sanchari bhavas in the spiritual world. So these people should have this constant tolerance and humility, because when devastations happen in the spiritual life, when the gopis are stopped from meeting Krishna, when Krishna disappears from the Ras Leela dance, or when such events happen, and when Krishna is taken away by Akrura to Vrindavan, such devastation events, when these things happen, those people should not curse those people and should not destroy those people and those impediments, but at the same time accept it, because those impediments are enhancing the Vipralamba bhava in the spiritual world. So that training has to be given, so that along with the material world, the Sakama Bhakta sometimes get those trainings also in the material world. So where they face devastations in their relationship with Krishna and the relationship with in the Kirtan, everything is taken away from them and they feel extreme separation, but they should not curse the instruments of karma, because those instruments are sent by Krishna himself, so that they are trained. Because in the spiritual world also, those instruments of those kind of obstacles will be there for them every time, for the eternity. That those things are going to happen. It's not like only in the material world, spiritual world also, because those obstacles are going to enhance their rasas, and one needs to know how to deal with those obstacles. So because the soul is still there in the material world, so at certain points Krishna uses a material phenomena to train the soul in the spiritual phenomena. So sometimes just like in the spiritual world, suddenly certain things happen, and the spiritual people are very powerful in nature actually. So imagine some Putana comes and just takes away Krishna, and these people are so powerful they can kill Putana in 1 second actually, but they are completely devastated and they just pray to Krishna, please Krishna, Vishnu, save my child, like that. So those kind of things these people also should understand in the material world. So when in their lives, just like Draupadi's lives, devastation took place and she took shelter of Krishna, she could have gone and destroyed everybody by her own power, but she didn't do that. She's a Nitya Siddha Mahabhagavat power. Hiranyakashipu had so much power. One little Vaikunta doorkeeper, this Nitya Siddha Draupadi can destroy the entire Kuru dynasty by herself. But she had this tolerance and this kind of thing, and so that is how Leelas take place. So certain things that you have to allow Krishna to become the hero, and you cannot just take things in your own hand, although you are powerful enough to do that. Mother Yashoda is so powerful, she can go and Tranavrat and beat the Tranavrat and make him into powder actually. Because who is she? She is nothing. She's the mother of the universe actually. The entire spiritual mother, material universe is everything. She's the mother. But she doesn't do that. She just cries, Krishna, Krishna, and then Krishna only deals with Ranavrat. If Mother Yashoda and all that people start dealing with these people, what will happen? So it's the same way, when devastations occur in our life, Krishna is training that you just have to take shelter of me and just cry for me. That's what you have to do when devastations occur in your life. Don't try to extremely become aggressive and this thing and that thing. So these devastations teach us these things, because when you become continuously you are faced with such kind of devastations and things like that, slowly you understand that ultimately Krishna only is the one who can help me in these things. And in the spiritual leelas, although you are extremely powerful in nature, when these different demons and all these people come, then you will be trained in spiritual life, so that when devastations occur to you in spiritual life, you will not react the way you could have reacted. Like Mother Yashoda, if she reacts the way and she destroys all the demons by herself, she can do that. If one small little if a small little Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu can cause devastation in the entire universe, what if the mother of the universe can't do? She's the mother of Krishna, she's the mother of the universe. She can destroy all the demons with one shot. She has such powers. But she doesn't do any of those things. She knows very well. So, of course, she's a Shakti. So, she doesn't know what to do. She's one of the primary Shaktis of the universe. So, she knows what to do. But in the same way, all of us also, if you go about and start Krishna's beautiful drama in the spiritual world, you start going and putting your hands in between that. No, I will only I will only do all these things. I will go and fight those people. I'll do this, I'll do that. Then there'll be a problem. So when devastation happens, you have to always take shelter of Krishna and not try to fight those things by your own powers and everything. So that's what Krishna shows by causing devastations in your life also in this material world. So that happens through the material energy, it happens. So in the material energy, we feel devastation, and then everything may go along. Some devotee may just completely destroy our lives and everything. But then we have to take proper action, but not getting into a completely, take the laws in our own hands, but take it everything as per Krishna's plan. And then, of course, we should deal with the situation very nicely, but keeping Krishna in the center, keeping Krishna as the hero, and always pray to Krishna, guide me what to do. So in that way, you have to deal with things, so that in the spiritual world, when these same devastations will occur, you will also know how to deal with those situations also. You need to be trained up. Sometimes devotees are trained up by in devastations, because these are the very, very common features which happen in spiritual world, devastating effects. So in the material world, when devastation happens, how to deal with it, you have to understand in a Krishna conscious way, and Krishna keeps on doing that with you all the time. Sometimes it is your karma, sometimes it is so many things. So these things will happen, and then we slowly learn to deal with these things. We don't get into, we don't get angry with Krishna, we don't get angry with the people who have done devastation to us, but we deal it with a very even-handed mind, at the same time maintaining the helpless and crying out for Krishna's help and things like that. So similarly, when these demons will come in the spiritual world, Aghasur, Bakasur and all these people will come, then we will be well equipped to deal with them. Emotional reaction will be well equipped. Because if we start fighting Aghasur ourselves, if the cowherd boys start fighting Aghasur will be dead before Krishna comes. Because cowherd boys are very powerful. They can fight with Balram and defeat Balram. So it's not a joke. They actually have that power, because Yogamaya and all these people, these devotees, by the love, Yogamaya herself covers this Krishna also sometimes. Of course, Krishna lovingly allows that to happen, but those people are very powerful. Sometimes, when you say that the Madhumangal used to say, I am holding the Govardhan on my stick, and sometimes I tend to believe him also, maybe, because if he can hold anybody, he can hold Krishna also. They can, when wrestling with Krishna, they can lift Krishna also. So why can't they lift Govardhan? Who knows? So Krishna said, no, I am holding the Govardhan. Maybe Madhumangal also is holding the Govardhan. Who knows? but of course not. They will allow Krishna to be the hero. So they will never take things in their own hands. So when devastation occurs in our lives, we have to understand how to take shelter of Krishna, not get angry with Krishna. Because see, in the spiritual world, that these devastations occur. That, Hare Krishna, why did you allow this demon to come and wreak? Why did you allow Indra to wreak havoc? So in the spiritual world, we can also, in the spiritual Gokula manifested material world Leela, where Govardhan Leela, then devotees can blame Krishna also. Why, Krishna, you are doing these kind of things? When Krishna, when Indra is, because of you, these things have. So these kind of trainings are given to devotees. Don't blame me, because this is a part of my game. It's a part of my Leela. So to enjoy all these different rasas, I will do a lot of things which are maybe good, maybe bad and stuff like that in spiritual world. So to train the devotee in the spiritual rasas, in the material world, devastation happens in the devotee's life. And a lot of bad things happen. So he has to emotional reaction, he should understand. And when he becomes adept in that emotional reaction training, so slowly he understands the thing, and then in the spiritual world, when he enters, those things, same things will happen in spiritual world. Of course, the rasas are different; they're purely spiritual, they're pure Radharani rasa. But still, because those things are inconceivable, we have to understand Krishna is trying to train us. Because see, although Vipralamba is the greatest ecstasy, it is the greatest ecstasy that anything is possible. Radharani, this is a Mahabhav, Vipralamba. But Radharani always wants to get out of Vipralamba. So she doesn't want to be in Vipralamba with Krishna. She doesn't say that, Krishna, let me be in Vipralamba because I'm enjoying this feeling, so I don't want to be with you. No, she always wants to unite with Krishna. So in her intense madness to get united with Krishna, she will do a lot of things. So in the same way, all the spiritual devastations are much blissful in nature. They are not painful like the material devastations. But still, a devotee in spiritual devastation, when he sees, he wants to stop those devastations. That is the nature. That is the nature of inconceivable nature of rasa itself. So if he is not emotionally trained, or if his soul is not emotionally trained in that thing, then that soul will go and take matters in his own hands. Instead of being one little bit, of playing his own role, he'll go out and he'll stop everything and he'll take matters and he'll fight with the demons himself. and he'll start getting angry with Krishna also possibly. And of course, you may say that everything is spiritual in nature. So okay, because the point is, in the spiritual world, you may say that, oh, how can there be anger? And yeah, it's a rasic anger there, but still it will disturb the rasa. There is rasa bhasas possible even in the spiritual world. It's not that it is not possible. So even in the spiritual world, although you may be so originally, if you see how does the soul come to the material world, it all starts with the fight. Prabhupada says, yes, see Jai Vijay, how they fell. Similar some kind of stories there with us also. So there is some fight, and that fight gets dirty. So the fight is spiritual in nature, it's not material in nature. So our fight with Krishna is spiritual in nature there. It is done by Yogamaya, everything, but that gets dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and no longer can be accommodated in the spiritual world. Then the fight comes into the material world. And then we get completely enamored by Krishna. We leave Krishna. We go into Ahankara layer. Ahankara is the anger layer. We are angry with Krishna. We don't want to connect with Krishna. So we connect with Ahankara and get all the Ladini from Ahankara. So that's why Ahankara is the Rudra principle. The anger of the soul feels for Krishna. So he comes into the material world. He wants to live separate from Krishna. Then Krishna comes behind him, running behind him. And then Krishna starts fighting here also. Quarreling and fighting and creating Dukhalayam. But from Krishna's perspective, that is also Leela. Just like in spiritual world, we are wrestling with Krishna. For him, it's the same thing. But for us, it's not the same thing. So all of these have spiritual material, have relationships with each other. So therefore, in the material world, the training is also has a importance. So that those training can be emotionally prepare ourselves in the spiritual Leela also. Because spiritual Leela is almost similar in its structure, but not in its quality. It's qualitatively like gold and spiritual rasas are like gold and material rasas like iron. But given having said that, they are also metals. Both of them are metals, and they have got similarities in some certain ways. So therefore, if we don't know how to emotionally understand how to react to situations in the material world, then we won't be able to react to situations in the spiritual world. So Krishna trains us how to react to situations in the spiritual world by training us in the material world with how to react. This is only for devotees. It's not for karmis. It's not for it's for a level of devotees who are already into Krishna consciousness, and Krishna is slowly trying to train them in the material world. Sometimes he may actually take you to a planet where separately Krishna Lila is happening. He may train you there also. But most of the time he tries to train you here also. By making you face a lot of these things, things that you may face in the spiritual world later on. So of course the feeling that you're feeling is definitely very material. It's made of Rajoguna, the feeling that you're feeling. So Krishna uses Rajoguna. There it is Ladini Shakti, but here it's Rajoguna. So Krishna uses the Rajoguna to train you so that when you go to the spiritual world, under the Ladini Shakti, you are well trained and you know how to react with things. So that's how Krishna actually deals with devotees. So all these devastations in our lives, all these things which we are stopped from meeting Krishna, these people who come in our lives who stop our Krishna consciousness, all these things have a relation. It's all Krishna trying to train us and to have the proper emotional response, so that when we go to the spiritual world, we will have appropriate emotional response to all these devastations that will happen there. Of course, those devastations are good, but whatever, nevertheless, those devastations will happen there also. And those, how do we face those devastations? That's how Krishna teaches us through the material devastations.